Good afternoon, CFM. It's Coach Matt, and it is that time again, my dears, for the What's Your Bench of CrossFit, which is called Fran. This is a workout that has two movements in it, the thruster and the pull-up. It's a relatively short workout. It is one of our benchmarks that we repeat multiple times per year to test yourself against where you were in the past, okay? So let's begin with the warm-up. It's a little bit longer warm-up because the workout is relatively short. All right, so we'll start with 3 rounds through. Each round gets progressively shorter and progressively more challenging or more aerobically taxing, okay? So a 600-meter jog on the first one, 400-meter jog on the second one, 200-meter jog on the third one. The next movement is our thruster, right? So this will be the first movement of the workout. The first round, air thruster. So I've got my hands at my shoulders, squatting all the way down, standing all the way tall, and then extending my arms overhead. And right from the very beginning today, we want to be thinking about the hip to arm transition, or creating that wave of contraction from the core to the extremities such that my arms are not leaving my shoulders until my hips have completed their extension, right? So all the way down, hip extension, arm press, okay? If I start pressing my arms early, then I fight the efficiency of the movement. If I start pressing my arms too late, then I lose the momentum that I generated by completing my upward drive from the squat, okay? So think about hip to arm transition, wave of contraction from core to extremity, all right? That's our thrusters. On the subsequent rounds, I want you to grab a barbell and do a barbell thruster. Note that Fran can also be done with dumbbells. So if the barbell is causing you issues in either the front rack position or the overhead position, feel free to swap it out for a pair of dumbbells. Totally fine. It is the exact same movement, and it's actually less stable and a little bit more challenging with dumbbells, but it eliminates some of the mobility restrictions that some of us have in these extreme positions. So squat all the way down, up and overhead, right? That's our thruster. The next movement we're working up to is pull-ups, right? So we'll start the first round with kips, and then bigger kips or medium pull-ups on your second round, and then a little bit more aggressive pull-ups on the third round, right? So start by just the stretching action of the shoulders. And again, pull-ups is a word that we use to mean body weight pulling exercise, right? So that means if it's a band assisted pull-up, or if it is a ring row, if it is a jumping pull-up or a regular pull-up, all of those fit the bill as long as they are appropriate for you with regard to resistance and intensity, okay? All right, so those are the 3 movements that we're going to be doing for the warm-up. Take your time through the warm-up. Make sure that you feel really good with the weight. When you have completed with those 3 rounds, I want you to do 2 mini rounds of Fran. So that would be 5 and 5 at the weight that you're going to use for the workout and at the pull-up station you're going to use for the workout. And so what we'd like to see on those is practicing your transition, because that's a very important thing in the workout, to getting a high intensity training effect out of it, also to getting a better time. Those are 2 things that we associate with a better workout. So the faster you get that work done within the context of really, really good technique, the better your result from this training will be, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm having my bar. If this is my pull-up station, I want my bar really close to my pull-up station. I don't want to set it across the room where I've got to run through a bunch of people or dodge other equipment in order to get there. And also, when we do these, thrusters get a little bit spicy by the end of it. So we just want to make sure that I've got enough gap around me from other people, and that I'm not going to launch my bar forward or backwards or drop it and let it bounce and ding and roll all over the place. So we're still keeping an eye out for safety. We're always keeping an eye out for good movement, but we want to get our transitions down to as small as possible, and we want to get the movement, the movement between the 2 exercises as small as possible, right? Okay, that is our workout. Pull-ups is the other exercise. We did a few strict pull-ups yesterday. Today, this is anyhow pull-ups, right? So kipping is the movement standard, right? So if you did, let's say you did your strict pull-ups on a more challenging level yesterday, I want you to do much lighter resistance today, such that you have a shot at getting the set of 21 done unbroken, right? So we'll use the kipping movement to get that chin over the bar, and that is a way to use more of your body to create the same range of motion. And what that does is increase the intensity effect of that exercise, right? So it's different tools for different purposes. Strict pull-ups we use to build the strength of pulling, right, of the body. The kipping pull-up is more of a conditioning exercise that also will hit some of the strength components depending on who you are, right? The workout starts with thrusters, right? So it will be, again, I pick up my bar off the floor, squat all the way down, extend all the way up. reset to the shoulders, right? 21 reps, set the bar down, right to the pull-up bar, 21 reps. Back to the thruster bar, 15 reps. Back to pull-ups, 15 reps. Back to thruster bar, 9 reps, and finish with 9 pull-ups. So it is 45 reps of each exercise with, you know, extremely, extremely aggressive people doing this in the low 2-minute range. The median time I'd like to be is in the 5 to 8 minute range. And we usually say, like, if you did everything right, you did your warm up and you just weren't feeling that day and it took you 10 minutes, don't feel bad about it, right? Just say, like, I worked hard and that's what I got today. But know that the time and the intensity will yield a certain effect on your body. And if you go too slow, if you go too light, you will not get that same intensity effect out of the workout that we call Fran, right? If you do it right, you should be extremely tired, extremely out of breath. You should not be able to uncurl your fingers for a few minutes because of the grip on the bar and the grip on the pull-up bar, right? It should be a very, very challenging workout. And it's something over time you'll learn to not be afraid of. You get a little butterflies for it, but you know what it's gonna feel like at the end. And you know that that high intensity effect is really good for you because it's stressing your body out in a very short amount of time. The excess exercise post-oxygen consumption that comes from that, which is the afterburn effect, is the most potent possible for those two exercises done that close together, right? And that is it for today. Hope you have a great one with Fran, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.